everyone, and welcome to Seal Rescue Ireland. My name is Nikki, I'm the Education Manager here, and welcome to our 8th and final episode of our 8-part mini-series. In today's episode, we're going to be taking you on a really special behind-the-scenes tour of our center so you can see how the seals go from rescue to release. It's a lot of information to cover, so let's get started. Let's start our tour. Follow me. Welcome to our hospital. Let's go check out our intensive care units, or as we like to call them, our ICUs. When seals are first brought into our center, they're put in their very own small enclosure in the ICU, which is fitted with a heat lamp to keep them nice and warm. We do a full health check to determine what kind of condition they're in so we can develop their medical plan. This includes getting their weight, their temperature, identifying any injuries that they might have, and seeing whether or not they've got any parasites, illnesses, or infections. Then we'll clean their wounds, prescribe their medications if they're needed, and we'll make sure that they're nice and hydrated before giving them a chance to rest and settle in. The first few days are the most critical time period for our new intakes, so we need to make sure that we keep a close eye on them and make sure they're as comfortable as possible until they gain some strength and become stable. The ICU is in a quiet, isolated section of our center which is closed off from visitors to keep the pups as stress-free as possible. These little orphan seal pups like to snuggle up to their wetsuit mamas, which we've placed in there to comfort them. They're actually made out of upcycled wetsuits. Now that we're all done in our ICUs, let's head on over to our fish kitchen. The fish kitchen is where we prepare all of our seals' daily meals and medications that they might need. We usually feed our seals 3 to 4 times a day with a fish called herring, which has a very high fat content, perfect for gaining lots of healthy blubber. When our pups first come into our center, they often don't know how to eat whole fish on their own. In order to make sure that they receive fats and nutrients, we use something called fish soup. Fish soup is made from blended herring, salmon oil, and something called electrolytes, which is used in lots of sports drinks to make sure that they get all of the nutrients they need, and it kind of looks something like a gray fish smoothie. Yum! After the fish soup is made up, we put it into a big syringe like this, and we attach a long, soft, flexible tube, which we insert into our seals' mouths, which goes down their throat and into their stomach. It might sound a little bit gross or unpleasant to us, but since seals have no gag reflex, it doesn't hurt them at all. This is the only way to give them all of the nutrients they need until they learn how to eat fish on their own. Now that we're done in the fish kitchen, let's go back outside and check out our kennels. After a seal pup has spent some time in the ICU and they become more stable, we move them on to the next stage of rehabilitation, which is a kennel. Each kennel is outfitted with a bathtub for swimming, a rubber mat to keep them off the cold ground, and a heat mat to help keep them warm. This is also where we teach seals how to eat on their own in fish school. Some seal pups learn how to eat fast, and some take a little bit longer to get the hang of things. We mentioned in episode 1 that common seals do a lot of learning with mom, whereas gray seals rely on their instincts, so common seals sometimes take a little bit longer to rehabilitate. Eventually, they all learn how to eat whole fish, which is essential for them to be able to be released into the wild. The kennel is also where visitors are able to observe the seals in care up close, and to learn their story and to hear more about the unique set of circumstances that brought them to us. This is important because while our seals are in care, they serve a very important purpose. They serve as ambassadors for our healthy oceans and inspire the public to help protect their natural habitat from all of the threats we've discussed over the previous episodes. If we can keep our seals safe and our wild seals healthy, that means fewer seals would have to come to rehab in the first place. Now that we're done with our kennels, let's go out around back and check out our pools.
have 4 pools at our center. This one is called Nursery. It's our smallest and our shallowest pool.
Once seals are confident eating whole fish on their own, have gained some weight, and have finished up all of their medications, we move them on to the next stage of rehabilitation, our pools. The pools are where they learn how to compete with other seals for fish, and they also learn how to socialize with other seals.
Let's go check out our 2 bigger pools, Rock and Physio.
The pools are a lot bigger than the baths that the seals have in their kennel, so it gives the seals the chance to swim, dive, and gain important muscle mass. When the seals are in the pools, we're a lot more hands-off with our care because we want to encourage their wild behavior that they'll need in the future. We still keep a close eye on them to make sure that all of them are looking well, and we weigh them once a week to make sure that they're healthy and they're still gaining weight. If we do see any seals that are losing weight or doing poorly, we sometimes bring them back into the kennels to take a closer look and make sure that everything is okay before they go back into the pool.
Our last stop on today's tour is also our last stop for the seals when they come into our center. Let's go head on over to pre-release, our biggest pool.
Pre-release is the last stage of rehabilitation. Our seals spend their last few weeks in this pool because it's hidden away by a nice tall fence which prevents them from coming in contact with humans to prepare them for their return to the wild. This usually does the trick, and before long they want absolutely nothing to do with us, which is the goal. When a seal reaches their optimal weight, which is usually around 30 kilograms for common seals and 35 kilograms for gray seals since they're a little bit bigger, they're showing competitive behavior and have no lingering health issues, it's time for them to be released. We tag each and every one of our seals prior to release with a flipper tag, which is labeled with a unique identification number. This means that if any of our seals are ever spotted in the wild after their release, we'll know exactly who it is. The most rewarding part of this work is watching a fat, healthy seal finally galump its way back into the sea after a long, challenging road through recovery. It's bittersweet and sometimes sad to say goodbye, but this is always our ultimate goal.
As we mentioned before, this is the last episode of our 8-part mini-series that we've been filming, so if you've been watching with us from the start, thank you so much for making it all the way until the end, and you're now officially part of our seal-loving community. Thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit more about these incredible animals and what we can do to keep them safe in the wild. Remember, healthy seas means healthy seals. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms. We're at Seal Rescue Ireland on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and we're at Seal_Rescue on Twitter. Thank you again so much for watching, and we really hope you come down and visit us soon. Let's stay healthy, stay safe, and let's do this together. Bye everyone!